I'm just gonna go for it. Welcome back, Odd Fam. I'm Kellie.
I'm Cassie.
Welcome back to Strange Town.
Oddities. Stay strange.
We are going to be recording a lot in the next 3 weeks because I'm going to be traveling.
It's true.
So if these episodes seem extremely chaotic, it's because they are. There's no other way to say
There's
it.
no other way to say it.
All of our stuff is linked down below. Everything you could possibly want. Our merch, our Patreon, our social media. Join our Patreon for as low as $1 a month. If you want, you can join for a little bit more and get some extra perks. So that's fun and cool and hip.
all of the above.
We've gotten a few listener submissions, so we're almost there. But give us more because we want to do a lot of listeners episodes this year. So keep them coming.
Yes,
All
please.
of the artists we've ever worked for or worked with are down below. Check them out. And I think that's it.
You done good.
How's my borscht doing?
Your borsty's fine. I was on a real high yesterday because of some good news. Received some slightly less good news, but still think there's a positive spin on it today.
I'm thinking
I
good
think-
things about it.
I
It
think
feels
so.
good.
It feels okay to me. And I'm happy to be doing this with you. The rest of the week was pretty much an armpit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So status quo there. And I'm happy to share that this weekend we're celebrating my mom's birthday. So we have some fun plans for this. One, I'm picking up a Boston cream cake from the local bakery, which fucked me up.
Love that.
And then
Ooh,
two,
make sure you take your sugar before and after. I want to see for science.
oh, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good with that. I don't think it's even going to be good when we go for sushi, to be honest. But that's okay. We'll go for a walk, and it'll be fine. We also, so the family in Chicago sent her a present, and it's really cool. It's like an escape room puzzle board game that can take up to 15 hours.
Oh my God. Is it called Exit?
No, it's Dooms. It's not Doomsday. Doom Nation.
Oh, okay.
Something, but maybe it's like the same maker. I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're going to be attempting that this weekend. I think we'll open it up tonight though. Check out the instructions, get a feel for things.
Understandable, because if it could take up to 15 hours, that's intense.
It's really intimidating. And then I have, hot plans tonight to do takeout and editing 3 episodes.
I'm also going to be editing 3 episodes tonight.
How fun for us.
It's like we're going to be on a date and not
Cute.
even know it.
And not even know it. Yeah, fun. So, that's how I am. How be my borscht?
I am good. It has been, other than Tuesday and today, an armpit of a week. I'm going to be honest, most days I didn't know what day it was.
I've been off this whole week too, but I was out of office on Tuesday, so I think that's why.
Yeah, I just kind of been literally all over the place. Didn't know what day, didn't know what time, just kind of rolling with it. Today, the kids' school kept glitching, which was just interesting.
Fun. Okay.
The weather's been incredibly crappy today, so I'm gonna chalk it up to that. Although at one point there was an incredibly large sonic boom, and that just completely knocked out their school.
We're done.
And I was like, oh well.
What are you gonna do? It is what it is.
Yeah. This weekend we have our D&D. Hi D&D friends. I know multiple
Hi,
of you are now
D&D
listening.
friends. Yeah. Also, I love all of you, and I've never met you.
That's a high compliment, friends.
Yeah. Congratulations. Mm-hmm.
Do not take that lightly.
Consider yourselves blessed.
And I'm continuing to plan appropriately because in 19 days I am seeing the wonderful, the gorgeous, the beautiful you.
We'll be in each other's
Cannot
presence.
Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. I don't know if I told you, I secured what, in my opinion, is the first class seat of coach, which is the exit row seat.
Hell yeah, that's great.
Supreme leg room, just saying.
So much leg room.
Ah, can't wait. And by
Can't
can't wait,
wait.
I mean I can't wait to knock out
Yeah,
on the
I hope
flight.
you fucking pass out.
Other than that, don't really have much going on this weekend. Have a lot going on next week. I'm finishing up a specific baby gift.
Fun.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yay.
I'm so excited for you to see. Hope you love. I know you'll love.
Of course I'll love.
And no, that's all I really got going on. So,
Heck
you
yeah.
know,
We're moving, we're grooving. Yeah,
we're moving and we're grooving.
next week is a busy week, and we're leaving for our baby moon. So
Yeah.
we're just wow.
I can't wait to hear about that. And I can't wait to see certain photos. And I mean, I can't wait to see all the photos, but like there's specific
The
photos I can't wait
maternity
to
photos. Yes. Oh man, we have some fun, funky, fresh times ahead of us. It's gonna make the 19 days go so fast.
see. That's what I'm actually really excited about, is that like the next less than really, I mean, just a little over 2 weeks, we have
Yeah.
so much going on that it's just
It's
going to
just
go by
gonna.
so fast.
I know. I just hope that our weekend together doesn't go crazy fast.
We're not going to let it go by super fast.
Okay, we'll just walk very slowly. Well, everything we do will be very
It'll be
slowly
so slow.
and
Our lunch will
intentional.
be slow, our dinners will be slow, our everything will be
Our
just
baby shower prep will
intentionally.
be slow. It's just slow.
It'll be just a cool, calm, collected, nice, slow weekend.
Slow and steady, baby. We love to see it. Um, well, damn. I mean, we haven't been at our standard 13, but it is because we're recording every 2 seconds.
Yes, currently. We got the sweetest message. I don't know if you read it. She had sent in several listener episode submissions, and at the beginning she's like, I just want you to know 13 minutes is not long enough.
Stop, really?
And I was so touched.
A
She
true
was
queen.
so sweet. And you know who you are. We love you.
I didn't read this. Now I have to go read this. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it
Oh
was
my
on our
God.
Facebook, just so you know
Well, I do.
where to
I love
look.
you too. I haven't even read it, and I love you.
Like,
Congratulations
that
to you too.
made my whole week. I was
Yes. What the
like,
fuck? That's so
oh,
great.
what a queen.
Oh my God. Sometimes I think about how nice it would be for some of our listeners to just come hang out.
Right?
I would love to
One
get to
day,
know some of you.
one day we'll be able to do a meet and greet, and that will be top tier.
The dream, maybe. Yeah, well, we would love it. Um,
Yep.
well, should we party?
I guess we should.
I was last week was latrines. Did I end with latrines?
Yes, you did end with latrines, because I
Okay.
remember going, I don't know that I'm going to eat now. I did eat.
As did I. So
It was fine, guys.
this is the final stop on our Weird History tour.
Oh, I'm a little sad.
Well, I gotta be real. I'm gonna do like 5 more episodes worth of research this weekend. So like, I mean, I could continue this party.
Well, it's funny because I have some weird history on this episode too.
Cute for us. Okay.
Yes.
So mine's not necessarily a singular event. It was just like a weird sort of like mini movement that happened. And
Oh,
it's the history of a brief history of electrical fashion.
electrical fashion?
Electrical fashion.
Please don't disappoint. Please be what I think it is.
Could one believe that a lady's finger, that her whalebone petticoat, could send forth flashes of true lightning?
Oh?
Yes. These were the very enthusiastic words of Gentleman's Quarterly as of 1745.
Okay.
So, the author had witnessed an electrical Venus, which was a demonstration of the latest discoveries in harnessing and discharging electricity. And somewhere between a parlor trick and a scientific experiment, the performance started by imbuing a woman with a charge of friction, then inviting an audience member to come and kiss her. We don't like the setup,
No.
but it's okay. In the instant that they would touch, a spark darting from her lips would rebuff the kiss, aka static.
Static.
Static electricity.
My
So,
goodness.
This was one of the many early electrical experiments slash parlor tricks, if you will, that resided in a strange zone between the scientific and the marvelous. One person wrote, quote, spectacular electrical soirees were frequently hosted in the darkened salons of aristocratic palaces, where amazed spectators would see their hair rise, their silver embroidered clothes glitter, and their gold buttons spark, and other amusing effects of this, quote, electrical fire. So it was like a whole thing. They were just like having parties where they were just like shocking each other. And guests would set their spirits ablaze with electrified swords. They'd watch as halos ignited around their heads. On one particularly memorable occasion, electrical experimenter Jean-Antoine Nollet lined up 180 soldiers and then ran a shock through all of them, sending them all jumping into the air at once. So, according to popular science writer Louis Figuier, which I think is actually probably Louis, I just am not Le Franche, all the excitement about the new knowledge of electricity led to an odd trend. So in his recounting, Paris in the 1770s saw a fad for ladies' lightning rod caps.
Fancy.
Why is it the women though?
I know. Why?
Why don't we? What do you mean?
I was waiting for it. What do you mean?
Um, these caps would be trimmed with metallic thread connecting to a cord that dragged along the ground. And the, now we know, highly flawed theory was that the cord would carry a lightning bolt harmlessly away from the wearer. He also writes of a lightning rod umbrella proposed by one of oh my God, Ben Franklin's acolytes, Jacques Barbu Dubourg. The umbrella would be surmounted with a metal pole and trail a silver braid to bear away any charge, supposedly. And so these hardly documented oddities aside, electrical fashion truly really only took off in the mid 1800s with the advent of miniaturized batteries. So this dude, Gustave Trouvé, was the inventor of the pocket battery, and he wasted no time in putting his creation to use in electrically powered jewelry. And so at the 1867 Paris Exposition, he was like, check this shit out. He presented, direct quote, he presented an array of pins surmounted by battery-driven miniatures, little rabbits that would beat drums, glowing lanterns. There were these little mini birds that would flap their wings and fan their tails. And so actually there's only one surviving example of his work, and it's a skull pin, which is spooky, and we love it. And it's meticulously enameled to look cracked and worn by ages of decay, and with the flick of a battery pack, its jaw would chatter and the diamond eyes, would roll.
Wow.
I want one.
Yeah.
Like, I literally want one. But his catalog of, quote, electric jewels is full of, really intriguing things. You've got luminous diamonds, a headlight tiara, electric flowers, luminous electric walking sticks, and many of his products, it seems, were intended for, theatrical use, which makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
And so theaters were, of course, home to some of the first and most extravagant displays of electrical fashion. And one such showpiece was the Lustre Vivant, if you will, of Victoria theaters, in which women ornamented with sparkling lights arranged themselves into the form of a living candelabra.
Wow.
I know, pretty cool. So then there was this American modern dancer, which I'm going to say wrong. So Louis Fuller, I don't know. Loie. I don't know how to say this. Loie?
I think just low.
Low? I don't know. Anyway, she made her name in the 1890s with her flowing serpentine dance, and she would twirl these swaths of fabric, silk, through changing colors of electric light, allowing her to appear at one moment like a flickering flame, at another like a lily, another like a fountain. And she was not just a gifted dancer, but she was also a prolific inventor, and she held the patent for the lighting mechanism that enabled her stage transformations.
Wow.
We love to see it.
So low would flow.
Low would flow.
It's also giving oh my God, it just went right out of my head. Oh my God. And now the actresses went out of my head. What do you mean? Her.
Jennifer
And that movie,
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence in that freaking movie, and all I can think of is District 13, and she's got the flowy
The
dress that
Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. My
Yes.
God, what the fuck is wrong with my head?
That was that no, that was like just like a fun, like almost charades moment kind of. That was like cool. That was fun
But you
for
know what I'm
us.
talking about, the wedding dress.
Yes, yes, when she's spinning and it does the
Yes.
thing. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Totally. Um, so these spectacles, as you can imagine, at this time were not without their risks. So one account in Scientific American said that the actors were decked with glittering crowns, and to add to their brilliancy, they were so made that a chaplet of electric sparks encircled the wearer's head. But sensation, pleasing enough doubtless to spectators, painfully verified the truth of the Shakespearean maxim touching the uneasiness of the head wears a crown, for one of the performers was grievously injured by the passage of the current through his or her head instead of through the ornament. I know. So, just as like theatrical were the electric fashions of high society. So it wasn't just happening in the theater. Like people who were rich as fuck were like, yeah, like I can do this too or whatever. So the Gilded Age threw off sparks, if you will. So electric light proved to be an irresistibly current theme at the time for costume balls. So the most elaborate example would be a gown worn by the wife of one South Dakota electricity magnate. It was fully wired from head to heel, and when she stepped onto a copper plate, she lit up from the bulbs on her skirt up through a crown on her head. More famous, though, is Grace Vanderbilt's electricity inspired gown worn to the 1883 Vanderbilt ball. It had tinsel lightning bolts zigged down the bodice, and at the ball, she carried a working electrical torch. In the same year, um, it was announced that women's bustles would soon be enlarged to create room for batteries. And so then it came with like this like sort of I guess prediction if you will, and it says it's becoming more and more fashionable for women or ladies to wear electric jewelry, and room for it must be found in some portion of the costume. Any color can be got out of glass. For a tiny peep of light the smallest battery is necessary. A dashing demi-mondaine can thus make a pennyworth of glass eclipse a duchess's diamonds or rubies. The correct thing now is to wear a star or brooch illuminated by electricity upon the left shoulder instead of the diadems worn at fancy balls. So by by 1897, a person could buy electric tie lights in any color or clear crystal, also an opal, which appears like a ball of fire. At the press of a button, it gave enough light to read by, which is cool. And the market for such novelties was like dwarfed by the huge craze for electrical cure-alls. So vendors would hawk these galvanic rings on the streets of London, advertising them as good for literally whatever ails you. Galvanic belts were particularly popular. There were like ads that showed muscle-bound men emitting powerful, like, and assumedly like healthful zigzag rays from their midsections. Um, and some of the belts really did carry like a mild electric charge, but other iterations were simply just smeared with hot pepper, mimicking the pinprick tickle of electricity. And the burning sensation made the wearers feel like something was happening. Really, it was probably their body reacting to, I would imagine it's capsaicin. It's found in a lot of peppers. It gives the
Yeah.
heat, whatever. So then there were these galvanic amulets, and they look really weird. They borrow the forms more of typical jewelry, like hearts and crosses and things like that, but setting these symbols with rings of counterpointed copper, brass, and steel, and the different metals working together create a mild charge when pressed against the skin. And ads implored readers to throw away drugs, promising that the amulets could cure anything from like kidney disease to quote impure blood, whatever that means. So why the faith in these things? Electricity was a vigorous force. It seemed to be at work in all living things. It was perhaps the secret to good health, like just recharge, like you would a battery or whatever. And so a leading scholar on the history of medical electricity describes the belief, quote, that energy could be produced in external devices and imported undiminished into the body. And that was strengthened by the heightened demands of modern life. Um, and really, since then, electricity obviously has come the longest way from these sparkling displays of just like aristocratic parties and the theater and everything else. And, as we saw over time, an increasingly industrial and increasingly electrified world seemed to demand that people, you know, pick up on it. And
Huh.
that's the brief history of electrical fashion.
I dig it.
Fun,
I hate
right?
it, but I dig it. Don't
Yeah.
love that women.
Are wearing lightning rod caps? Yeah, I don't love that either.
Like, why? But okay.
But also it checks out.
Yeah, it totally does. Because why would women be treated fairly ever?
Ever.
But okay.
But okay. And so there you have it. That rounds up weird history from me, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
There's
Keep
a
them
lot.
guessing. There's a lot out there.
Huh. That was very cool.
Well, thank
Very
you.
electrifying.
Some might say.
Wow. Okay. So I'm just gonna jump in.
Let's do it.
As you remember, last week I talked a little bit. I'm still in Nebraska. But I had touched on a subject of a mob in Nebraska.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't stop thinking about it. It consumed me.
How can it not?
Because it's just like you don't, when you think
It
of,
doesn't go together.
when you think of mobs, when you think of gangsters, when you think of anything to do with that, you don't think Nebraska.
No.
So I had to do more. And so here we are, still in Nebraska, and we're talking about the mobs.
And here we are, the mob of Nebraska.
And apparently, mobs have terrorized Omaha since the city was founded in 1854.
It doesn't compute
Yeah.
for me.
The use of violence, intimidation, and the pursuit of political aims, terrorism, was as used as a weapon of Omaha's mobs in the beginning.
Oh my God.
Who freaking knew?
Who knew?
Because Omaha, what?
Omaha, are you guys all right? What's like well, just carry on.
Excuse me. Early on, they were seemingly concerned with the horse thieves
Sure.
and break-ins. In the recent times, mobs attacked people in Omaha because of their race and ethnicities. 60-ish years ago, mobs lashed out at businesses. Notably, there haven't been any mob terror trails, monuments, or other acknowledgments of the acts of the masses in Omaha throughout the 160 plus years of existence. There is a poster thing that I found.
Oh, good.
North British and Mercantile Insurance Company, Riot and Mob Insurance. There was an advertisement for this.
Okay.
Note, your present policies do not cover the loss of any kind caused by mobs. This can only be covered by Riot and Mob Insurance.
I can't believe that was like a thing.
Yep. There are many things that motivate mob terrorism, including righteous fanatics and the mob mentality, also known as peer pressure.
Sure.
Could you imagine? I was peer pressured into it.
I was peer pressured into this. It makes me feel a little sad.
There is a number of acts such as murders, break-ins, the typical things that you hear when you think of the mob. This was really hard to take seriously because, again, we're still in Omaha here.
Right.
Many of people have argued that about the differences between mob terrorism and the vigilante.
Sure.
Saying that one is evil while the other one is acceptable.
Oh.
I would like to know how.
Yeah, the reasoning. Would like to hear the reasoning.
to accept that one is okay while condemning the other is hypocritical at best, obviously. At worst, it propagates the intentions of both. There are several stories in this history of the mob terrorism in Omaha. The first one, a U.S. marshal and judge trying to stop them in 1856. An Omaha mob whipped and may have drowned 2 men accused of stealing horses. The second story from 1858, a farmer said he kept losing horses. Suspecting that they were being stolen, he claimed to have caught the suspects after being stolen from jail. The men were murdered by a mob of dozens. The third story comes from 1861 when 2 men were arrested and confessed. The judge ordered a trial. A mob walked into the jail and murdered the one accused of being the worst and let the other one walk.
Oh my God.
Yep. There is a gentleman by the name Anthony J. Biasi, and he was the start of the Omaha mob.
Okay.
Apparently. He was an American mobster who had a long career of gambling and narcotics.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Except this one doesn't exactly make sense, because if Nebraska had a mob all the way back into the 1800s, he was born in 1909.
Oh.
So I don't know how he started it.
Credited it. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he's the most notable though, because he has the biggest crime docket.
Okay.
But I kind of feel, nobody come at me for this. I kind of feel that there's not much going on in Omaha, and so one thing came up about a mob in Omaha and they ran with it.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. The puzzle pieces just aren't quite fitting.
Yeah.
And it's still leaving me at a head scratcher.
Yeah.
I can't. And then the things that I talked about last week with the brothers, none of that came up in this research.
That's weird to me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like this isn't very accurate.
Yeah, I think somebody was just like, this sounds cool.
And we need some history here.
And we're Omaha, so yeah.
I think you guys need to stick to your stakes.
Yeah, exactly.
But nonetheless, I mean, it is pretty neat.
Yeah.
I feel that this is more so an angry mob, not a gangster mob.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. I mean, it was still cool. I mean, well done.
It's still very cool.
But it's still just like not. I don't think it's not our mob.
It's not. I love how you said, it's not our mob.
It's not our mob.
I still think it's very interesting that there are people who the mob doesn't exist when there's like clear evidence that it does.
There's like evidence. Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, and I think that's where also stories come from of like, oh, let me tell you a story about the mob. And then this is how it gets developed.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't know, nonetheless, it was fun to try to piece together this puzzle.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't feel like the pieces are quite fitting in any like.
It's like that. Is that from Princess Bride, where he's like, I do not think that word means what you think it means.
Yes, exactly.
It's like that.
And in this case, I don't think the word mob is what I think they think it means.
But this is, I mean, I love it anyway. You did a great job. but
It
I
was
think
fun nonetheless.
I,
I couldn't let it go last week. I was like, what do you mean?
I think mob in Omaha is just a different mob.
Yep. I think it's a
Group
angry
of
mob
angry people. Yeah.
that want a quiet lifestyle and don't like crime.
There you have it.
So, the mob of Nebraska.
Well done.
There
Anyway,
you go.
I love it. I love it. This was a fun episode.
I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. And next week I have something very bizarre. Very, very, very bizarre.
Is it history again, or is it something else?
It's history. It's Pope history.
That's right. That's right. You told me a little bit about this. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for it. I have much research to do, so I don't know what I have for next week. It's a surprise to all of us.
Love that
Surprise,
for us.
surprise. Yes.
Surprise, surprise.
But thank you as always for joining us. Let us know what you think about the topics. And until next time.
Stay strange.